We think of the past as simple, primitive, even boring. But history isn't just dusty scrolls and old kings. It's full of chaos, absurdity, and straight-up madness. Wars that made no sense, fought over nothing. Strange beliefs, stranger cures, power plays that only created chaos. In this episode of Brain Buzz, we dive into a past so bizarre it makes sci-fi look reasonable. Let's start with wars. They usually begin over land, power, or money. Things that reshape societies and define entire eras. Declaring war is supposed to be a heavy decision, but in 1325, it really wasn't. That year, two Italian cities, Modena and Bologna, clashed in a full-blown war over a wooden bucket. Yes, an actual bucket. Modena allegedly stole it. Bologna demanded it back, Modena said no, and then battle. Tens of thousands of soldiers marched. People died, and the bucket? It's still on display in Modena today, like a trophy. Now, to be fair, some sources claim the war was already brewing, and the bucket was just a souvenir taken after a key battle. Others insist the bucket was the spark. Either way, it's become a symbol of just how weird history can be. Fast forward to 1896. Zanzibar, a small island nation off the coast of East Africa, was under British influence, but still had its own sultan. When the pro-British sultan died, a new one took the throne, without British approval. Britain said no, the new sultan said, "Try me." So at exactly 9:02 a.m., British warships in the harbor opened fire. They bombarded the palace, destroyed the artillery defenses, and disabled the royal yacht. By 9:40 a.m., just 38 minutes later, the war was over. Roughly 500 Zanzibari casualties. One British sailor was injured. It remains the shortest war in recorded history, and possibly the most one-sided. So if today's world feels chaotic, remember, we've seen power moves go wrong much faster. What happens after wars? Power shifts, old systems collapse, and the new people in charge usually want to make their mark, fast. New rules, new values, and odd decisions. After the French Revolution, the new leaders didn't just want to change who was in charge, they wanted to redesign society. Monarchy? Gone. Religion? Replaced. And they even messed with the calendar. So they invented the French Republican calendar. 12 months, 30 days each. Weeks? Replaced with 10-day blocks called decades, pardon the French. That meant 1 day of rest every 10 days. Yuck. No more Sundays, no more rhythm. Logical on paper, but brutal in practice. Farmers burned out, workers lost track of time, the priests were furious. They pushed back, resisting the new system in daily life. Many refused to follow it, local officials ignored it, and eventually even the government couldn't enforce it. After 12 years of confusion and quiet rebellion, Napoleon ended the experiment and restored the old calendar. No matter how bold or innovative your reforms are, if no one follows them, they collapse. And that's the thing about revolutions. They aim to rewrite logic. But what people actually believe, now that's a whole different story. Radical change doesn't just reshape systems, it reshapes beliefs and what people accept as true. After revolutions or power shifts, people crave stability and order. In the past, when science wasn't fully developed, medicine became a mix of guesswork, tradition, and pure imagination, which led to some interesting choices. Old medicine wasn't just about herbs and leeches, it was way weirder. By the 1500s, European doctors believed that ground-up Egyptian mummies could cure disease. So they made powders from actual mummies and sold them in pharmacies for people to consume them. This wasn't some underground thing. It was endorsed by medical authorities of the time. Doctors also prescribed human skulls, fat, and even blood. They believed illnesses could be treated by transferring a person's life force, especially if that person died violently, like in an execution. It was called corpse medicine, and it wasn't a passing phase as it lasted for centuries. You could walk into a pharmacy in the 1600s and buy powdered skull. Meanwhile, kings in England and France claimed they could cure diseases just by touching the sick. Thousands lined up for a royal healing. It was so common that the monarchy had entire ceremonies built around it. These weren't fringe beliefs, they were official policy. We didn't just believe strange things, we built institutions on top of them. So what finally ended it? Not just better science, but changing attitudes. As medicine professionalized and scientific methods took hold in the 18th and 19th centuries, the mystical and magical lost credibility. By the 1800s, corpse medicine was mostly abandoned, and royal touch rituals faded as monarchs lost power and people demanded evidence, not ceremony. But for centuries, this was normal. This was medicine. And that's the terrifying part. The weirdest ideas weren't hiding on the fringes. They were right at the center of what people trusted. Which makes you wonder, what do we believe today that future generations will find absolutely insane? So, what's the point of all this? When today feels chaotic, like nothing makes sense, it helps to remember that we've always been like this. We reinvented time and fought over buckets. We trusted mummy powder and blue royal blood to heal us. We were just confidently wrong. And that should make you wonder. The future might get weird, but we know for sure the past was. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell us in the comments what's the weirdest thing humans have ever done. Like and subscribe to help us keep creating. And to everyone already on board, thanks for being part of the Brain Buzz community.